Hi, Pia. Good to have your essay. Nice to hear from you again. Well done. So you've recently used a moving company to move your household items and they've been damaged. So this is a letter of complaint. Where and when did it take place? What is your complaint? And suggest a solution. Dear Sir, Madam, and yours faithfully is absolutely fine here. You do need a comma there. I'm writing to make a complaint with regard to damages made to my house. We would have to say household items. The damages seem to have happened, good, when your workers were carrying the boxes to our new apartment. As far as I'm aware, the incident happened in the elevator. Fabulous writing. I love the tenses here. You've really shown your control. Brilliant. As I emphasised on moving, the red tape boxes are moving. Hang on. As I emphasise on moving the red tape boxes carefully, you don't need as. If you have as, you've got to have a different structure. So I emphasised on moving that. Ooh. No, maybe not on. I emphasised moving the red tape boxes carefully, which included, or not which, but as they included our antique chandeliers. However, your movers did not pay attention and carried them with, attention, carried them too casually. So watch out, repeating your words. I think I may have misunderstood what you wanted to do there on the grammar, but this works. I don't think your other structure worked. I'm discontent about the situation. I need a quick response from your company to fulfill your commitments. So what happened? Did they break? You need to tell me what happened. You talked about damages. You, I think, carried too casually on opening the box. One of these antique lights had been shattered. Something like that. So we've got a past perfect passive in here, which is very nice on the grammar. We've got the on, we've got the participle clause, so throwing in as much grammar as we can there. And then you'd have to go, I'm discontent. Oh, you could go, I'm extremely. I suggest we give the full amount of, yep, in addition to the penalty set in our contract. I'd like to receive the amount of 48 hours. Good. Okay. Really, really good letter. Very nice. You've done that really, really skillfully. Well done. Brilliant. Okay, let's keep going for the task 2. These are more fathers stay at home, take care of the children while mothers go out for to work. What could be reasons? And is this positive or negative? The new trend. Here we go. Quite long. Watch out. Okay, don't get too excited. You've got 40 minutes. It's important to be able to express yourself in this amount of words. You don't have the luxury to keep going. Okay. The new trend that mothers take the breadwinner role and fathers the raising role seems more prominent in developed countries. The new trend that mothers take the breadwinner role and fathers the raising children, we could be raising other things, role, seems more prominent. It's becoming increasingly, I'm adding words now, increasingly prominent in developed countries. Seems okay, but seems doesn't feel very strong for an opening line. This could be rooted in. Yeah, it can't root in. This could be, it has to be a passive. Rooted in the movement of people towards democracy. Not just that. I think it's equality and the movement of. So I would kind of question that, but I don't want to get into politics, but I would say equal rights and finding more happiness and well-being, which has been beneficial as more families are joining this fad and women have more contribution to the business world. Okay, fad, be careful. That is a negative connotation, that word. It suggests it's a short-term trend and not of value. So wrong word choice there, I think. We're getting a bit long and complicated for an introduction. So I would almost go, this could be rooted in the equal rights movement and the search for, rather than finding, the search for more happiness and well-being. And then I would take out this, actually. I don't think you need that in the intro. While, so, and then not and, but put while women have more contribution, are now contributing more. Make this into a verb. Oop. More. So this essay will delve into the subject. Oh, nice. Using examples. Okay, good. Now, I was talking to another student today about very complicated introductions. Be really careful. You're obviously a confident writer. I can see that. Your essays are great. But the examiner's going to make up their mind pretty much on that intro. I'm looking for control. I'm looking for precision. I'm looking for some good vocab. I'm looking for no grammar mistakes. You want to make a seriously good impression here. So just cut it back a bit. Just make sure you're not writing too many long sentences. You've got the rest of the essay to do that. The new shift in family roles among fathers and mothers has been on the rise in the past few years. Okay, you don't really need that because you've kind of told me this already, so you're sort of duplicating. You need to start now. The central reason behind this new trend, or something, analysts agree that this new trend has derived from. So something like that you can see is a lot more sophisticated, derived from the shared parental values. Yeah. Derived from, I change it around, the values societies have to reach more civilized democracy. In other words, I don't use in other words, it just means this means that. Okay. I know it's in the template, but I'm very cautious about firstly, secondly, because for me, you're writing above this level. This is there to guide you. Okay. Equally this, I would cut that sentence totally. You don't need that. So I'd start with something much stronger. Analysts agree that this new trend has derived from most societies need to reach shared values or need to share their values in a democracy. I'm questioning this thing about democracy because I think you should be talking about equal rights, not democracy. This means that the roles in families are almost redefined, have been redefined, and responsibilities are interchanged among couples to experience a happier life. Is that connected to democracy? That's my sort of big question here. It's definitely connected to women in the workplace. I don't think that's necessarily to do with democracy, though. So here I go, additionally, after this radical, or with this radical shift in society, the majority of women are outperforming their occupations, confluence as successful fathers managing their children and household chores. Now, the majority of women are outperforming their occupations. I don't think you can say that. Confluence with. What do you mean confluence with? Not sure about the word there, and be careful on that sentence. That seems like a really big sentence. For example, 58% of Canadian households have admitted this change in the family structure. Hence, the more... Yep, okay, I get that. Okay, so I think I would just shift this more towards equal rights. Women are more accepted in the workplace and women are more successful in the workplace. I would leave democracy out of it, to be really honest. I think it's just making us a bit confused. This new social reform could be considered a positive movement in most Western countries, okay? The rising number of families who are adopting this new lifestyle could imply how this movement is thriving. you don't need to say that. That's absolutely repetition of what you've just said here. Many businesses are benefiting from their female workforce because of their unique occupational characteristics, including patience, organizational skills, and a calm manner. A study conducted by, so like more here, showed that in 2020, women made more contribution than men to the organization's success due to these core soft skills. So kind of keep on with this theme. Aligned with sound thinking is the critical roles that women hold in behemoth brands like, with positions at senior level. Okay, I know I'm adding words here, but you need to kind of edit this a bit in terms of repetition, so then I can put these more words in. So yes, you've said they have critical roles, but you've got to say these roles are senior, otherwise I don't know what these roles are. Thus, should this trend be adopted, so if you're going should, you have to have an infinitive, be adopted by more countries, there would be, watch out on that conditional. Great to use it, but make sure you're right. There would be, now it's not, careful, you're mixing up the conditional. There would be more positive progress. There would be. So you're making a kind of recommendation. There would be more positive progress. Now, on what you've mixed up, like a second and a third conditional almost. So if you want to have this had been, should this trend have been, had this trend been adopted by more countries, there would have been. You can't have the modal verb, the should and the would in both halves. So had this trend been adopted by more countries, there would have been more progress is your third conditional. Doesn't work here. You're okay on the second conditional. To conclude, should we acknowledge that most married people are striving for their betterment towards a more equal society. This in turn leads to outstanding results. Successfully manage, here just present tense, if they're getting it right, then they are managing their roles. Okay, successfully manage their roles. Don't need that. Okay, definitely don't need that because it's long enough already. Okay, so when you do your planning, it's very important that when you do your planning that you're really clear on where you're going. I can see the arguments behind here. I think it's getting complicated when you start talking about democracy. I think it's simpler to talk about the acceptance of women in the workplace. So the acceptance for women are getting better educated. I keep it more straightforward. I think when you start talking about democracy, you're getting complicated and a bit off the point. But the organisation is good, okay? There's a few issues you can see me picking up a little bit too much, just go through this really carefully, edit really carefully before you send me the next ones, okay? But really well done. I love how you're pushing.